Hello, everyone. Here's your weather hazard briefing for Monday, June 21st. After a quiet day today, we do have thunderstorms in the forecast, and they'll be possible each day starting tomorrow all the way through Thursday and likely in some areas on Friday. Like I said, warmer conditions today. It'll be even warmer tomorrow. Now, with thunderstorms moving in, unfortunately, confidence is low right now in coverage and also in location because there's some discrepancy showing up for now. But at least we'll call it isolated thunderstorm coverage each day, especially over the high country. Storms tomorrow, most of them are not going to be producing a lot of rain. There might be a few that produce a brief burst of rain, but if you measure it, it's not a lot. Wednesday through Friday, we'll see more storms trying to produce a little better rainfall potential. Most of them will be of those kind that produce maybe a brief burst, but not a lot of rainfall in the rain gauge. That also means gusty winds will be an issue as well. By the weekend, early part of next week, we have a big-time ridge building over us, and it's going to be downright hot, it looks like, by the time we get to about a week from now. Satellite loop shows the ridge building in across our area, but it's hard to see. There's a low off the California coast. The moisture with that and a couple of little waves spinning away from that will keep the thunderstorm chances going through the middle part of this week across our region. And like I said, maybe in some areas we'll see some thunderstorms continuing on Friday. Still watching for a couple hours this morning, maybe some northeast winds strong enough for lake wind issues across American Falls Reservoir. But you'll see our impacts ramping up. We'll probably ramp them up even more if we start to see some areas that could cross into critical fire weather conditions, red flag territory. But it's definitely going to be hot, dry, and breezy tomorrow. We have our storms moving in, and those storms will be around each day. And the reason that's an issue, it's just been so dry out there. It may not take much to get a fire going out there with the dry and brittle conditions in some of our locations here in central and eastern Idaho. Now, we talked about thunderstorm potential for tomorrow. Most areas not seeing a whole lot of thunderstorms, just a slight chance. We might see a few places that are trying to produce pockets of scattered thunder across those areas, but it's not a very big potential at this point. So we go into Tuesday night and Wednesday morning. And most of this is tomorrow evening into maybe just after midnight Wednesday morning. Thunderstorms continuing to spread into southwest Montana over towards Island Park, maybe as far south as Du Bois, and also more thunderstorms continuing to the west. And each day, at least we'll call it isolated thunderstorms possible over the higher elevations of central and eastern Idaho. If we get a better idea, there might be a little more coverage in some areas. We'll certainly be tweaking that as we go through time and as we get closer to each day. I think this is going to be a situation where the forecast may see some big adjustments day to day instead of being able to get ahead of it by about a couple of days, it looks like at this point. Like I said, it's going to be dry out there today. Some areas seeing relative humidities below 15%. And for this afternoon, we're going to see temperatures, especially once you get out into the Magic Valley, into the Treasure Valley, in the low to mid-90s, 95 in Chalice expected for this afternoon. Still in the 80s in a lot of locations, a little bit warmer than we saw yesterday. We will have to worry about with the ridge, at least over us overnight, some poor humidity recovery for our fire partners into the central mountains, and especially across the southern, southeastern highlands, the South Hills, also back into southwestern Montana. Temperatures in those areas will be only dropping to around 60 degrees, maybe not even dropping into the 50s at this point. It's going to be in the 30s and 40s up in the Stanley Basin and the Copper Basin area as well. Now, it will be a bit breezy tomorrow, not as bad as we've seen over the past few days on occasion, but still some gusts 25 to 30 miles per hour, especially where we can get some winds coming out of the gap winds coming across into portions of the Snake Plain and the Magic Valley. Humidities tomorrow still a little bit lower across the board and warming up again. We're going to try to push near 100 across portions of the Magic Valley. We might have some heat risk issues in this area, also into the lower elevations of the South Hills and the Albion Mountains. It's a little bit warm for this time of year in that direction. Maybe that heat risk it will extend back up into the Pocatello area, depending on just how warm we get for tomorrow. For Wednesday morning, we still have some gusty winds along the interstate corridor and temperatures staying pretty warm to go into Wednesday afternoon. Just a little bit cooler, and that's because we have a little more cloud cover, looking at potential for showers and thunderstorms over the high country. Thursday morning, just a little bit cooler even on Thursday afternoon, but not much. And again, we get a little more sunshine, we'll be a couple of degrees warmer. If we stay with more cloudiness, you can knock off about 2 to 4 degrees on these afternoon highs. And this trend continues into Friday across the area. Now, we talked about the potential, just how warm it might be next week. And again, this is just some early numbers, and we are kind of giving you some ranges of temperatures here. Here we are. Let's go to Sunday, for example. The most likely temperature range is going to be between 96 and 102 degrees. If we get more cloud cover, some cooler weather, it might be as cool as 91. There's the very, very low chance we get up to 104 degrees at the Pocatello Airport. And you see this percentage number here. This is the likelihood that we would exceed 100 degrees on, or 97. We'll switch this to 100 to make it a little bit easier for you. But you'll notice for Sunday, that potential is right around 50%. Now let's go to Monday. Look at this. The range is 96 to 105. A little higher potential of at least getting to 100 degrees at the Pocatello Airport. And for Tuesday, which looks like to be the warmest day, the range is 98 to 106. If we get to those higher ranges, we're talking about potential all-time records for Pocatello. And this is not just for Pocatello. A lot of places may be seeing records not only for the month of June. We might see some all-time records or getting close to those, either tying them or breaking them. We're just going to see how warm it gets. As long as it stays really dry, we have these drought conditions, the potential for those warmer temperatures to occur is there. So like I said, it's going to be some interesting weather coming our way over the next several days here in our area. It's going to be kind of stormy the next few days, and then it's going to get really, really warm by the end of this week, into the weekend, and the first part of next week. Have a great day, and if it's being warm out there, do stay safe, everyone.